also acknowledge the lives that have been lost through femicide and violence, to hold space for that loss and that grief. The way I was taught, when you offer a song, you give thanks to your maestras and your teachers. So this song I learned from, and I'm so honored that she's here holding space in this Platica, our sister Seba Valencia. It's an honor to sing with you and women around the drum. And I'm gonna offer the song 4 times for the 4 directions. And then the last time that we sing it, I encourage you to sing it wherever you're at if you know this song. We raise our right hand. And so through the song, you can be holding your womb, you can be holding your heart, whatever you need to do for yourself to take care of yourself. But with full humility and with an open, humble heart, I offer this canto in a good way. Hey, hey, hey. Yahi-oh-ho, 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 eh, yahi-oh-ho, eh, yahi-oh. Hey, 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 yahi-oh-ho, 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 eh. Hands up for this one. Oh, Mateo. Le paso la palabra to our beautiful leader, Dr. Patti. Thank you for being here. Thank you for bringing your ancestors to all the panel speakers. Thank you so much for taking the time to continue this conversation. Full gratitude. Tlazokamati, Ometeo.
Thank you so much. We're going to invite folks to mute themselves just so that we can minimize the background noise that we are getting. Give folks a moment. I'm going to stop sharing my screen just so that we see each other. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. We are so just honored to be able to be here in community with all of you. I'm going to go ahead and highlight my video so that you know who's speaking. And then you can toggle the view in ways that feel good for you and your nervous system. So if you just want to see the person that's speaking, if you go to the right-hand side, there's a view, and you can click and change it to the speaker mode so that you just see the folks that are speaking. You can also see everyone by clicking to the gallery mode. And so these are just options that we want to invite folks to use, especially if folks are new to Zoom, or if this is the first time that you have participated in a workshop. I'm going to mute everyone. And then, okay, perfect. I'm also going to make one of my colleagues and comadres our tech so that they can support with any tech needs as we continue this work. in this conversation. Okay. So we have a very short amount of time to have a very important and needed conversation. And so instead of reading all of these beautiful biographies and explaining everyone's amazing work, what we're going to invite folks to do is once we introduce, kind of why we're here, we're going to just have our panelists introduce themselves and share, why this movement, this work is so important to them, and share anything else that they would like to share in a grounded way, so that we can get the conversation started. Does that feel good for folks, especially our panelists? Sounds good. This is being recorded and will be shared after in a couple of days from now. And so what we will do is we will embed panelists' introductions. So we will pre-record these so that you can have a longer video that you can rewatch, or just when you have more spaciousness to absorb and receive all of the beautiful wisdom. So just wanted to say that in advance. It will also include Spanish transcription. I know we have some of our folks from our ecosystem that are monolingual Spanish speaking, and so we want to make sure that it is accessible for them as well. So hi everyone, I'm Dr. Patty Chihuahua Ramirez. I am so excited. I'm here as part of the Xinachtli Comadres National Colectiva, and we welcome you to our second annual Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls mini conference and campaign. Our goal is to have a successful, healing-centered, socially distant awareness, education, and action campaign. And so we're trying to do all of it at once because it's all super integral and important. And our goal is to bring light to the issue of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls, transnational femicides, and gender-based violence. And so we have an amazing conversation. And just to know, we're gonna have all of this within an hour. This is gonna be a small conversation, but not the end. The whole idea is that we are beginning this conversation around how can we combine Northern and Southern movements, because we are inextricably linked, right? And so with that said, we're so excited to introduce, our panelists. We have here the founder of the Xinachtli Comadres National Colectiva, Sara Husky Mendoza. So I'm just gonna highlight as I introduce folks. And then Sara, if you can share, just very briefly a grounded intro for yourself.
Thank you. So it's an honor to be here with the rest of the panelists. My name is Sara Husky Mendoza. I live in Aztec, New Mexico. My movement has been transnational. I work with the LA Indigenous Peoples Alliance out of Los Angeles, even though I'm from New Mexico now. But my work is really around the fact that Indigenous people, Indigenous women and girls, the needs of girls have constantly become invisible to the vulnerabilities of the rest of the community. And so what I wanted to do in my work was to continue to highlight the plight of girls, the reality for children, and what we call a low intensity warfare on our community. And so the way that, yes, our last workshop was presented, that there's a clear politics of land and our bodies being our first territory. So quoting our last speaker, today, I just want to highlight that our movements are intricately related and the same, as well as the border itself. For me, when I first migrated north again, because we migrated south and migrated north, and back south, I was not allowed to claim my Indigenous identity. So with immigration, in order to get my green card and be able to walk across the border in a safe way, avoiding the desert, I had to not identify my tribe, which is Ñañú, Otomi, from Hidalgo. And that to me is the beginning of that genocide, right? So it wasn't my physical body, but it was my cultural body and spirit. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Sara. We would like to also invite Tina Calderon to share a grounded introduction. I'll go ahead and spotlight you.
Thank you. Me iha ne hinkam ne twanya ne tinor duno calderon. Ko mikra bet na ha tongve, koi mix kanakan, ko yo eme. I wish kone ha ko avaman te hovet met. Hello, my relatives. I'm Tinor Duno Calderon, Gabrielino Tongva, Ventureño Chumash, and Yueme, and I'm happy to be here with all of you today. A little bit about me, and in addition to being a culture bearer for my tribe, I also work for Sacred Places Institute for Indigenous Peoples. I'm the director of Ocean Protectors Program, and I'm also the IYEJ lead, working directly with Homeboy Art Academy. I also hold a co-chair position for OC Impact's Racial Indigenous Social Justice Committee. I work a lot as an advisor along the LA River, as well as with many educational forums. My role is to give voice to those who do not have voice, and that includes our lands and our waters and our peoples. So I just have a real passion for speaking up for the rights of others. And when I say, we always think human, and that's what this forum is about, but we can't forget our Earth Mother, the waters that run through her veins, the minerals, the plants, the animals, because we're all connected. And so what hurts one hurts the other. So I do thank you for inviting me to be in this forum, and I look forward to learning and sharing.
Thank you so much. We'd like to invite Sewa as well to share a grounded introduction. You are muted.
As I take a sacred breath and take all the offerings and wisdom and gratitude for this opportunity to be with each and every one of you and highlighting this epidemic, that deep pain, this wound, this trauma.
Oh, you got muted again.
Inchi maniavu, kecha malea, ineposewateak. I'm so grateful to be here with each and every one of you, to stand in solidarity side by side as one, a oneness, because that's what it's going to take to bring light to this epidemic. My offering is the medicine of the drum. I feel compelled to work with women in whatever that looks like, just to be with them in community for the sole purpose of healing. And I thank you for this opportunity to share a little bit of myself with each and every one of you, as I am a little bit of you as well. Oh, chokwe otesia, lutuya etehuk, yehunate kame, se imete waiwari on my relations.
Thank you so much. And lastly, we would like to invite our speaker, Morningstar, if you would like to share a grounded intro of yourself.
Jimisan Dekam, Morningstar Galley, Ilik Atage Chi, Ma Achimawi is Chi. My name is Morningstar Galley, and I am a member of the Pit River Tribe of California. I am currently on Nisenan lands at Shingle Springs Rancheria. I'm here for an in-person event, and so my apologies that I will have to leave shortly, but I am very grateful to be in the space with all of you. Lots of love and blessings to all of you here today. I know that in sharing about our advocacy, it also, opens up those wounds. And, I share that part of what we're doing is healing in action, that this is, creating spaces for healing for all of us. I wanted to say Chimisanui, hello to Miss Tina with Sacred Places Institute, and to Sara, who we worked previously together in International Indian Treaty Council almost 14 years ago now. So really honored to be here with all of you and to be with these fellow presenters.
Thank you all. So this is such a beautiful opportunity, I think, for all of us to be in this space together, even in a virtual capacity, and to be able to, kind of like listen in, be part of this important conversation. And so we just wanted to maybe open the space. And also invite, folks that are joining us with the understanding that we want to honor the wisdom, the collective wisdom that's so alive with everyone here. So please feel free to engage with us on the chat. We will have a questions and answer portion for folks to ask questions or even just affirm our panelists or share, your own experience. With that said, we wanted to just open it up with, why is this conversation important to you, as it relates to the missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls movement and the movement to end violence against women and girls? Well, why is it important that we have this conversation on, making sure that we can connect, the northern and southern movements? What's at stake when we don't do that? And so we'll let our panelists, as you absorb that long-winded question, and see who would like to maybe get us started.
May I, hi, my name's Mary. I just like to acknowledge also, our two spirit relatives, because they too are part of this, Sister Sewa said, this pandemic. So I just like to bring our two spirit sisters and brothers, their memories and their energy into this beautiful circle. Tasukamati.
Thank you so much. So who would like to?
If I may share my observation,
Yeah.
or my heart, my feeling, why it's so important. And as you said, that question was so big, bigger than all of us. But collectively, in our communities, we need to start speaking it. It's important because we're taught when one person is sick and hurting in your community, you're all sick, you're all hurting. So you need to take care of that person so that you don't get sick as well. And so together, collectively, we need to have these conversations. And we got to start with the smallest circle first. My grandfather says, you throw that pebble into the water and you see the ripples start small and it grows and grows and gets bigger and bigger and wider and wider and wider. Start there, start with your own community, start with your family, start talking about it, start speaking about it, start asking questions. And ask your community to take it to their community and to ask questions, to get involved, to start with prayer. Prayer is where we start. And so for me, it's important that we acknowledge, just because it's maybe not happening within our family, they are our family. We are family. And we got to see it that way. We got to feel it that way. We got to light that fire, that tata fuego, so that way light can come. And for us, as the sisters, gathering around the drum, singing our prayers, talking about it in circle. Yesterday, we had a circle, we had over 58 women. And that circle we had yesterday was solely about the mistreated and murdered Indigenous women and girls. And those that are perpetrating the crimes, we prayed for their healing as well.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so we asked each and every one of those sisters to take it to their community and let their community know, ask questions, get involved, however you can, whatever that looks like to you. And if it's just prayers, well, then please offer that. If it's song, then please offer that.
Mhm.
Whatever it is, share it, give it away. And for us at the circle, now that we see TV shows highlighting this epidemic, we are even stronger in our prayers, because we know it starts with believing in your prayer, believing that you can do something and you can make a difference, even if it's just your prayers and speaking to anybody that's willing to listen. And if they're not, still share it anyways with the most love and respect. And don't forget their names, remember their names. And pray for those that are perpetrating the crimes. That's for me why it's so important. It's so important because when one person is sick, not well, in pain, we are all as a community. So collectively, in doing what you're doing, this is going to make a difference. It's going to make an impact. We start with the smallest circle first. And that's what we're doing today. And it's going to grow and blossom and ripple and create miracles. Chokwe Otesia. Thank you, Aho.
Thank you. Thank you, Maestra. Thank you for these words. For me, I think one of the reasons that it's, not so much a choice, but a responsibility to stand up is the awareness found in Juarez, with women disappearing all the time down at the border. And, we sent down delegations, and then you really begin to dissect who are these women again? Who's getting murdered at the border? Those women working for the big factories, building those televisions, they send them right back this way to Sam's Club. The question became that there were indigenous women from all over Latin America. They're stuck in Juarez, right? And so they get these jobs there. They have no support system, no safety, corruption from, top to bottom, bottom to top. And so there's no safety, right? And so this power analysis that we got to play there, it's one of the reasons I want to get involved, because it's a power analysis that started in that first moment when, we have Malinche as a young girl given as a slave, right, to European men, right? That precedence was established from, it seems like day one, And so that culture is a culture that has to end, and it has to end in the most loving way, and it has to end in the most transformative way. But for me, it's a culture that has to end. Yeah. So thank you.
Anyone else would like to share?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and share. Thank you. When I think about how things were before the people came here as colonizers, when I think that we had laws to live by, that we didn't have a need for prisons because things were taken care of immediately, and that we had certain rules of respect and reciprocity. And then when these colonizers came here and they treated our women as less than, as animals that they can take, servitude, harm, killing them, raping them, all of those things that started very early on when those colonizers came to our shores. And at that time, we were not allowed to speak of it. It was brushed under the rug. These were people in power because they had guns that we didn't have. And so horrible, atrocious things happened. But we lived with it. And there's this trauma that goes generation to generation to generation because we were never able to speak of it. But now we're at a new point. Now we have a voice and we're able to speak and we're able to uplift what's happening and we're able to educate and unite. And that's where the healing starts. So I do believe this is so important to bring awareness of what is happening. And I give credit to those who first stepped up and started bringing awareness to these man camps and these women that were going missing. And nobody was keeping record and nobody was looking for them except for the families, except for those tribal communities. And through that awareness, we start to learn that it's happening everywhere. It's happening everywhere. And through that awareness, we realize that we can network and we can pray together and we could talk to elected officials and we can talk to the people who are supposed to be enforcing these laws. And we can try to bring awareness so that this stops. But the most important thing for myself is to bring education to us women. We cannot put ourselves in the place where we are vulnerable. We cannot put ourselves in a place where we can be abused, harmed, raped. We have to be aware at all times. And so that is my message. When I talk to the youth, I hold healing circles. We talk about these things because I believe that we need to empower each other and we need to be aware that there are things that you can do to keep yourself safe. Not saying that it's not going to happen, not saying that, it's foolproof, but be aware, look in your surroundings, learn how to protect yourself and come into community and let's start to heal with one another.
Thank you so much to all of you for really, kind of lightly touching on some of the stories that we carry. It is, although I'm someone who does not like to use statistics, especially as it relates to, those that aim to capture indigenous, migrant, or, just vulnerable communities type of information. One statistics that I do have that is very alarming, that really speaks to what you all are talking about, is that 1 in 3 women worldwide have experienced physical or sexual violence, right? And so this is just 1 in 3 women. We're not even looking at the intersections of, indigeneity, of sexuality, of whether it is when we talk about our folks who are trans relatives, and those statistics are much higher. And so we see the issue unfold locally and transnationally, and so I'm interested to hear from you all, but even the audience, as you process some of the stories that folks are sharing. Ultimately, we want folks to maybe imagine, how can we bring healing and tenderness to the grief and work around ending this epidemic? right? Because it's so real. And we're doing, we're fueling our rage, we're sharing harm reduction strategies. We're also trying to hold folks accountable, all the while cultivating communities and ecosystems that are healing centered, all the while creating medicine, right? So my question is, how can we bring healing and tenderness to the grief and the work around missing and murdered Indigenous women, girls, relatives, this epidemic, as well as just the epidemic of gender-based violence?
Let's see if there's any maestras that want to go share.
Yes, any of our elders?
I did want to just highlight something in the meantime, is the need for housing, and many of us, maybe we can pay our rents and our mortgages, but it doesn't mean it's the most, maybe we're surrounded by freeways, right, outside of our home, that environmental racism that so many of our communities face today and have faced, hashtag Flip Michigan, right? There's so much going on that I feel that we need to create a way for those elders and activists and organizers and families, and how can you do your best job if your sister is, homeless, if your mother, she doesn't have the care that she needs, right? We're talking about quality of life issues. And so we want a safe, viable home, a home that is nurturing and lovely, and that home needs plants, and for the plants you need water, and now you got to pay your water bill, right? Like it all kind of snowballs. But for me, it's that quality of life, but it begins by securing, housing and quality housing, right? And so that's that thing that we're feeling everywhere throughout the country. But for me, that's the first thing that comes to mind. Our elders, our healers need to have a safe and healing home so they can continue to do the job that they do. Girls run away because they don't have a safe home, right? And then the vulnerability increases tenfold. So.
Thank you.
For me, how I bring tenderness and healing to such a painful, that's not even the word, because it's bigger than all of that, is I start with myself, being willing to sit in that darkness and that pain and that anger and being aware of it and allowing it to flow through me. So that way, when I'm out in the world, all that I meet and all that I share are the recipients of the work that I have done for myself, the healing. And so when I speak that with the community and with the sisters, we light that fire and we gather around that fire and we speak it there. We speak it there. We share our truth. We share our heart. We let it all go. We give it all away. So in that way, we can continue, not in anger, but with that fuego, because that same fire that can heal can burn. And sometimes you need it to burn. But for us and for me, that's how I've been healing my heart from and bringing love. Todo con amor. Do everything with love. But when we get around that fire and we light that fire, I have the special gift of having Mary as our fire keeper. And yesterday, these were her words. She says, sisters, let's come around this fire. Let's pray that it is hot and that it warms all of us. And It was and it did. And we spoke it. We talked about it. We lift our voices. We even cut our hair so that we can begin again and have another conversation about this. And that's how we've been bringing a little tenderness to such an issue that is beyond words, is by prayer, by song, by speaking our anger around the fire, speaking our anger, speaking our pain. Being vulnerable, being courageous. So for me, that's how I bring some tenderness to what you were speaking about. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Tina, if you would like to share or also answer, what do you think is necessary for us to bring forth a united movement?
Thank you. And yes, that was beautiful, Sua. So what I really focus on education and awareness and unity, because when we think about this topic we're talking about, this affects communities. When a person goes missing and their families don't know what happened to them, they're searching for them. And very often, the statistics are showing that very often when they are found dead. And then you have those families that have to mourn that loss, those communities that are hurting, right? So I think it's so important to acknowledge what is happening, to educate people, to empower them. But the most important thing is that healing ceremony. Because if we don't take that last step to try to go deep within and to heal, we just carry it with us. And we go in anger and we react in anger. So I think leading with love is huge, but we first have to acknowledge and we have to unite. And, I've known about this MMIW, I'm going to say R because it is all relatives that it's being affected, for quite some time. And I want to give some honor and respect to some people who actually introduced me to this by just inviting me to open up space for events that happen in Los Angeles. And these people live the awareness. They're runners. They're people who constantly are uplifting this horrible situation that's happening to bring awareness. And that's Jordan Daniels with Rising Hearts, Josie Tenario Tiwa, Affirm LA, and my friend Tiana, who's in Kumeyaay territory. And they're constantly bringing awareness. So I give credit to them because they're living it. By being invited into this space, by learning, I too have so much compassion that I have written a poem about it that I do share sometimes when I open up these spaces. But also, I learned by being invited by a college to speak about this. And one woman shared that she had a dream about the Yaqui people, which we should be referring as Yoeme. She didn't know why, but she kept seeing this red dress and she kept being drawn to the Yaqui people. So I did some research and there is a huge epidemic in this territory. And so I think it's so important for us to unite and realize it's happening on both sides of the border. It's happening around the world. And so, yes, those prayers are needed. Unity is needed. Awareness is needed. But most important, that healing ceremony. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you all for your beautiful words. I'm hearing the call for love, unity, and healing and ceremony, right? I think that's such a beautiful transition to kind of our next piece of this session, which is our two performers who are excited to share song and healing song. And so we're excited. Before we move on to our performers, I just wanted to just one last time ask if our panelists have any last words to share with the collective. And then I also saw Norma as well raise their hand, so we can make space for that, and then we'll go into our performances. Yeah.
I'll start real quick. You know, I wrote in the chat that we need to speak out of what's happening in society to women, even when you are silenced by family and friends. I started taking Chicano studies and all this stuff, and I started talking about what happens to women, but I have friends that just don't want to hear it. They just block me out only because, no, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. How? I don't know if there's ways or places that I can go to, links that I can find a way to speak about it without offending, silencing, or being silenced. Because it's hard when as a Latina, you're surrounded by Latinos, but they want to shut you out because they don't want to talk about what's really going on. So that's what I want to know. Ways, where can I go to learn how to speak it without myself getting angry or frustrated?
I see, Belen. Do you have your hand raised?
Yeah, I do. I just want to take this moment to uplift our panelists, Tina Calderon and Sewa, and ask if you can share, like, I know, Tina, you have a women's circle coming up that would be supportive for this type of discussion. And Sewa, I know you're going to sing tonight at an event. I don't know if you want to take a moment to promote those, because I want to uplift the work you're doing in the community that's brought so much healing for myself. Thank you.
Yeah, I am the resident facilitator for MMIWG LA. For their feminine healing circles. They offer healing circles for the feminine, for the masculine, as well as for the two-spirit. And my circles are held the second Friday of every month. We do it on Zoom, and you register through Instagram through MMIWG LA, which is International Indigenous Youth Council of LA. And these started as for the youth, but they've really branched out to all ages, because we have found that there are so many women that need to dive into these talks and need to begin that healing by speaking of from their heart, from their heart. So my next session will be Friday, May 12th, and they go from 6 to 8 p.m. So again, just MMIWG LA, thank you, Belen, for putting that in there. And you do have to register in order to get the link, but you all are welcome to join. And our topic will be on MMIWG this on the 12th.
Thank you. I'm going to add it to the website as well. And if you all have additional offerings that Norma and the collective can join, please feel free to share these as well.
I would ask if Mary would be willing to share where we're going to be tonight. It's part of, as we say, we're women of circles because we're part of many circles. And so this is one of Mary's circles as well. So I want to let Mary offer where we'll be tonight and share that. Does that feel right, Mary?
Yes.
Okay.
So tonight we're going to be in Mission Hills in the San Fernando Valley. It's Brand Park, right across the street from the San Fernando Mission. It's the ancestral lands of the Tataviam. For those of you, if you're interested, I can also provide you the address The address is, give me a minute. 15174 Mission Boulevard in Mission Hills. We start at 6:15, and this is hosted by Tescaracat, Monique. So if you like and you feel called to come, you're welcome to do so. And this is in honor of all missing and murdered Indigenous relatives. Mateo.
Thank you so much for sharing. I see a hand from Julie.
Hi, yes. So I wanted to share, Tina actually, I know Tina. Hi, Tina, from Antioch University. She spoke to the dream I had. I had a dream of Indigenous women in a circle that were dancing clockwise. They were holding each other's hands, and they happened to be wearing red dresses with black and white trim and what looked like seashells to adorn the dresses they were wearing. And I didn't know what that meant. And so I sought counsel with Tina, who broadened the scope of the dream about missing and murdered Indigenous women. And in that dream, the word Yaqui was spoken, and I didn't have connection to it. But in my psyche, in my soul, the deep recesses of what the dream was telling me was that women need to come together in circles as well. And Rosanna Aarons, I also shared this dream with her, and she said, when women are in a circle, we see each other. We see each other, and we're all on the same level. We're all equal. So I think this concept of women's circles, to start having these conversations and dialogues of something very traumatic and painful. This is intergenerational trauma. And I also spoke with Tina about where this began with the doctrine of discovery. We have to go back to the original sin. And I believe that is the original sin where this all started. We need to look at that, and we need to bring these truths to the forefront so that we can start healing. So I'm very honored to be in this powerful group of women that are starting to have these conversations, because this is how we will heal. And this isn't just our own communities. This will impact the entire world. This will impact Mother Earth, because really that is the core of the damages that have been done to Mother Earth. You know, this is something very sacred in terms of the feminine. The feminine is sacred. I think we need to go back to remembering that. We are the feminine. We embody the feminine. Each of us are sacred. So I'm very grateful for this conversation and dialogue.
Wow, thank you all for these beautiful shares. So I'm just really excited to get to kind of move us and guide us through this next piece. Thank you again for everyone who has tuned in, who has been part of the conversation, who has been engaged on the chat. I'm seeing so many emojis affirming folks that also added to the conversation in a very meaningful way. We also want to just thank our panelists, our elders, your wisdom, your offerings. These are, what is sustaining our ecosystems, right? This is the medicine and magic that you're leaving for us so that we can continue to cultivate. And so we definitely want to acknowledge that we stand on your shoulders, and that we all have a place in this movement, right? I want to just, I see a hand up. Mary, would you like to add something?
Yes, please. I just like to say in Lakesh, you are my other me.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Thank you. Oh, what a beautiful way to
Oh,
end
yeah.
it. So with that said, if with permiso we can if we can get you to the performances, we're so excited about these. Like I can't with myself. So we're gonna have, if it's okay, Xinachtli, would you like to go first? Yeah? Okay. So I'm excited. So I'm gonna just share spotlight you. And then I think there might be some, you might need to do the original sound for musicians.
What was that? Excuse me?
There may be, there you might have to, I don't know if it was Zoom, the sound gets messed up, like if you have audio, like an audio behind you.
Yes, I do. I ran a sound check earlier, and I played it back on the laptop. It sounded okay. We can try it. I suggest to the folks that are listening, maybe lower your volume a little bit and then gradually increase it so you can hear a little better, so you don't, get taken back by the boom. But yeah, I mean, if we're ready,
Yes.
I'm ready. Okay, so first of all, I just want to say thank you, Xinachtli, so very much. I am Xinachtli the Alligator. I represent for the Nawa Maya Nation. I found the healing path of the Red Road when I was probably like 18. I'm 38 now. I'm so thankful that I always listened to that little voice in my mind that told me to search for more. And throughout the years, the way my life has developed, I've been a part of various mothers groups, support groups, starting from little play dates, sharing knowledge, attending ceremony together, creating safe spaces. And if I may just say one thing, addressing what Norma, I believe, had mentioned about being shut down and things of that nature. I think one thing that's important to keep in mind is that not everybody is ready. Not everybody wants to receive the message yet. And if we just band with those that do want to receive the message, like those that are here today, I bear witness that creation will just multiply all the efforts that we're giving. That has been my experience. I have also been an intervention worker for about 6-7 years now, providing counseling for women who have been victims of domestic violence. I've been a community intervention worker in the area of East LA since I believe 2017. Since 2017. So this is something that is very close to my heart, and I'm so very thankful to share this space with all of you. And these songs that I'm about to offer speak about that. I don't release a lot of music, but when I do, I really try to make it count. And I have 2 songs. One of them is called C-137, alluding to the dimension that we exist in, according to my little nerd world that I like to be a part of. But the message is like, what are you looking for in this life? What is it that you want from life? Do you even know? Some of us chase money or fame or dreams, but there are different levels of dreams. So this song speaks to that experience and to really asking ourselves, what are we doing? What do we want in this lifetime and dimension? And this is bilingual for all the gente. So I'm gonna get it cracking real quick. Let me pull up my music. And let's see. Oh, I was already connected. Of course, I had to disconnect. I apologize. Okay, there we go. And 5, 4. Oh, of course. Okay, let's see. Of course, there's a problem with the file. I do apologize. Let's see. Here we go. All right. Here comes the boom. I hope y'all hear it right. ¿Qué es lo que buscas? ¿Qué es tanto lo que esculcas? Vas de izquierda a derecha como bailando mamushka, girando la ruleta como si fuera la rusa, y hay algo en tu mirada perdida y sucia. No puedes esconder la intención de tu acción. Así que aprende una lección como que pedo a media clase y te paso al pizarrón. Toma nota, por favor, el día de hoy. Más importante es tener dirección, no hay que ser tan veloz, sino más sabio y feroz, como lo va con cachorros con su ojo en el alcohol, como rebelde que se mueve por amor. Yo soy la guarura de las flores y las cuido como Lorax, pero armada hasta el tórax, sin miedo a explosiones, sintiendo pocas emociones. Y me siento más chingona en servicio de mi gente. Y pues estos vatos necesito repelente. Creo que eso es evidente, aun sin ser clarividente. Yo ya no soy muy exigente, solo quiero un espacio para ser y poder florecer, ver el atardecer, sentir besos en mi piel y jalea en mis piernas a bailar con tus abejas. Pero dime tú, ¿qué es lo que buscas? ¿Qué es? ¿Qué es? ¿Qué es lo que buscas? ¿Qué es lo que buscas en esta vida y dimensión? ¿Qué es lo que buscas? ¿Qué es lo que buscas? ¿Qué es lo que buscas en esta vida y dimensión? Now flip it. Tell me what you're looking for. Tell me what you're looking for. Tell me what you're looking for in this lifetime and dimension. Yo, I'm here to represent for the displaced and the hated, for the love that's ignored, for the heart that's separated, for the people that survive at the bottom of the barrel, tired of the quarrels, plotting like squirrels, because nuclear winter is coming, but no rain is falling, and the wombs are sterile, and the seeds don't fertile. Tell me, how do we survive, if not to be the memory of time, testament of past wars, time warped in a cell of flesh, and a mind that won't rest, always looking for escape, so we self-soothe till the end of days. Tell me, are you lost or are you on your way? Tell me, are you building towards better days? Tell me, are you still stuck in your ways, so confused and still always running and running away, fronting like you're doing okay, but you're crumbling like it's the wedding cake, no foundation in your steps, and the love you've been giving you disgrace and replace. Are you even real with your state? Tell me what you're looking for. Tell me what you're looking for. Tell me what you're looking for in this lifetime on dimension. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Tell me, do you even know? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Tell me, do you even know? Do you even know? Yeah. This is the ionized funk. Peace one, thank you. Yo, that was my first piece I have for you. If I can, maybe just in the chat, can you hear it all right? Is it all right? Can you hear me good? Awesome. All right, all right. So I saw a message. I don't have Noche de Tlatelolco, but I do have, see, I do have Stone Woman. So before I run this, I would like to say that I felt that this was the perfect song to dedicate to all of you today. Thank you so much for the love in the chat. This song, I wrote it before my daughter was born, so like 14 years ago at least. And it's an offering from my corazón, full of gratitude that life gave me the opportunity to manifest myself on earth as a brown woman, as a survivor, with fire in my veins, part of people that have such rich history and culture. And I dedicate this to all the mujeres in the world that are living, fighting, dreaming every single day of healing and what we can make this world truly look like once we get back to our true essence of unity and ourselves and living in balance with Mother Earth. So this is for all you mujeres right here, right now, for all the mommies in particular, because where would we be without our mommies? So, all right, this one, you got to start it a little bit low. The beat's pretty loud. I think of that first boat that landed. In every tribe, every clan, every generation, every nation, there will always be one, there will always be one. Stone woman, frozen in time, winters and springs recorded in my heart. Eternal life is the gift of consciousness, agreements with the timekeeper life I protect. Savage blood now awakens my state in the depth of the solar plexus, most high energetic charge. As I watch from the shores, the filth of evil wash up. I stick under my toes, making me run slow as I reach for my arrows. The pact was resealed, give sound to the voiceless, enough to crack the spine from the root to the crown chakra. Life is acknowledged in a scientific realm. Physical law and effect results vary, but the pain is the same. In time of war, there's always someone to protect. If you're alive, let me see you take a step. World games come to an end, and the sacrifice is great, but reward is even greater. Knowledge you'll discover that is both correct and sacred. In time you'll be consumed by the work that's at hand, and you just might fall in sadness, but remember to immerse yourself in flowers and repeat. There's no God but the one of intelligent design, manifested in my genes and the path that I walk. Sacrifice for life, in this way become stone. Activate new realms, in this way become stone woman, frozen in time. Winters and springs recorded in my heart. Eternal life is the gift of consciousness. Agreements with the timekeeper life I protect. And I fight like a savage, fight like a savage, fight like a savage, a savage, a savage, fight like a savage, fight like a savage, fight like a savage, a savage. Among the doves and the crows, I explode with my vision to expose sacrilegious puppet masters. I'm here to dispose of with ease. Watch and observe as I do kung fu, Buddha breathing technique. Reconnect with my chi and remember life for me ain't a kiss or nice touches. I be there just to seek the genetically coded, specifically chosen to loosen up the clutches. Fill up that space everyone refused to take. It's not about the name, but the life you create for those who remain after you return to the earth. Sacrifice for life, in this way become stone woman, frozen in time. Winters and springs recorded in my heart. Eternal life is the gift of consciousness. Agreements with the timekeeper life I protect. Yeah, so I hope you like that. From the bottom of my heart, una ofrenda for all of you. Just want to say thank you before I pass the mic to the moderator and to the beautiful Ina. And I just want to say thank you to my partner for helping me set up this beautiful stage in honor of the MMIWR, as sister says. And you know, we all need each other. We all need each other. And you know, lately, as a family, as a friend group, we've been really tending to the inner child, minding, not being too judgmental, not having too many expectations, and just being very gentle and patient with each other. And I just want to say that that has really worked wonders for us. And you know, that is one thing that I would like for all of us to keep in mind after this panel. Just be gentle with yourself, with that inner child, with each other, and center on love. So thank you once more. Thank you so very much. That's Xinachtli.
Oh my gosh, I'm just seeing the comments, all the fire, fire, fire affirmations for you, hermana. So thank you for just bringing your offering, your palabra, and to our continued efforts, right? This is a prayer that we're leaving with. So next is the beautiful Ina from Indigenous Cats. Woo woo. So I'm gonna go ahead and highlight your video as well. A ver. Okay. Let me just.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Hi, I'm Ina from Indigenous Cats. It's an honor to be here and to learn from these beautiful women, strong women, using their voice to uplift us, young women, to prevent what is going on right now. So it's an honor to be here. I do have a song or two to share with you. So yeah, we'll just get into it. Thank you for having me. Just a little, if you could hear it. It's not for the place and time that I have been knowing there is much to say. Just when I decide to go on, turn back around, 'cause in my heart I found those beneath the ground. Check it. Feeling the natural movement of energy as I fill in the vessel with the breath awakening within her gene. Nunca olvides the force of beating, force the laws upon the source that gains brains, happens with every heart that drums a beat. Try to sun us up for subs like a vibe proceeding at the hands that beat. And my blood when anger debated the ways on how it flows amongst the concrete, got me pressed underneath. Standing over our bodies, how dirty, naughty laws. It's got me feeling so hard to reach. Hanging off like that, I'm swapped to the side of the bed with no blood circulation and able to activate the limb. Just like the surface cutting off inhabited the depression that beach tweak the beam, make it appear minuscule to ever thought we might come from the seat. I pick at the pan, stabbing it deep until it's red. I've been the watch traveling and exhausted this intelligence, but with the charge from my ancestral lineage. Put the warriors, supply you with the connection, surfacing heavy voice so you could get the message. They blame the people because they feel with swords, spitting this verse like I'm watering all of life's precious flowers, God-given powers, yeah. Wasting time that I have been knowing there is much to say. Just when I decide to go on, turn back around, 'cause in my heart I found those beneath the ground. Hey. That one's Fly Away. I wrote that in just the way like you feel, what can you do? You know, sometimes you feel like you don't have the tools, or you don't have access to certain communities or just people around you that think and feel deep about something. So, and so that one's Fly Away. Did y'all hear it okay? Does it sound okay? All right. Okay. Thank you, Yesenia. I guess we'll keep going. My next song is, it's a different vibe, but it's, you know, similar. Thank you for this opportunity. Okay. Can y'all hear this? Yeah, yo. Indigenous women, we must rise. We must walk this path and keep going. We're strong, you know it. Indigenous women, we rise. Protect each other with certain situations. Look with the heart and our minds. Be clear with the way we talk, yeah. Check it. When you wake up thinking about all the days you ain't saying, now you say fuck, realizing you still be on the pay stubs they call. You hang up, no conversation, ain't what the heaviness you put face, your makeup got you looking caked up, hidden in the crevices of all the pain. It's like you've been trying to find a way to cover up and act super sane. Dilated it to the depth, there was no gain, especially when you still be letting men dominate your brain. Control is a matter of letting go. Let yourself be stolen by the devil's grip or hold. Full by temptation, basically sitting at home. But when the snakes come to find you, cause they spilling all the blood. Fight the evil voice that lies behind you. Crack the code of infinite power that can be like your sword mastering it in the sense of because you're moving towards those in will. My method be different, won't be the first to kill. No, won't be the first to kill. We'll be the first to heal. I know we got a lot of things, yeah. Got a lot of things I need to grow from, yeah. Got a lot of things I need to grow from, yeah. Got a lot of things I need to grow from, yeah. We got a lot of things we need to grow from. So those are my two songs. Again, I'm Ina from Indigenous Cast. It's an honor to be here. Again, I'm just learning. I'm here to observe, to learn from these women paving the way for us young women, and to apply and mainly to offer a helping hand and the best I can, you know, because obviously we have all had our own paths in the past that has led us to be here in this moment. So we've all faced certain situations that really tested our spirit. But it's a blessing to be here. So tashokumati, salamat, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you all so much. There's a few asks on the chat. How can we get this playlist? So please, you know, if you have Spotify channels or any other channels, music channels or pages, we invite you all to share with the collective. We also just want to invite you to our last session for our mini conference, which is our using our missing murdered Indigenous women and girls advocacy toolkit. We're starting a little bit late, but we plan to end at the same time. This Platica is just gonna be more of a review of the toolkit and an invitation for folks to join our healing-centered actions. So if you are someone who wants to you know, commit and begin, you know, the work to do this as a continued effort, we invite you to join us for this last session. So with that said, we'll put the link on the chat. But thank you all for the affirmations. And then yes, the we'll put the link on the chat just to confirm with folks. And then we invite folks to use the chat and just share a word of how you're leaving, you know, this session, a word that resonated with you, or just, you know, one way that you want to end this session with us. Ooh, beautiful. I'm seeing folks share awakened, inspired, loved, interconnected, grateful, activated, care. Oh my gosh, these are so beautiful. Connected, empowered, present, aligned, fire, blessed. Oh wow, these are such beautiful palabras. Thank you all. Powerful presence of sisters. Much healing, deep gratitude. Thank you, everyone. So we're going to close our session. We want to thank you. We want to again thank our panelists, our elders, our performers, but also want to thank our team. So Belen Velasquez, Ispapalo Patino, Xinachtli Mendoza, Lisette Mendez, Kiana Dickinson, and I think Fatima left. But all of these folks were integral parts of coordinating. And then Sara Hasky Mendoza, who is, our founder for the Xinachtli Comadres National Colectiva, as well as the author of the Xinachtli Rites of Passage curriculum. So for folks who want to learn about any of this work, or who want to become facilitators and support youth, Indigenous girls, and gender expansive youth, we're actually going to have training coming to Los Angeles, which is going to be coupled with a mental health first aid certification. So we will be sharing those details, but we're excited to share all of the offerings that we're bringing through the Colectiva. So Tlazokamati, Ometeo, everyone, and we'll see you on our next session. Bye.